another massive edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. Well, thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by the great man, Mitch, the operations manager of the comp. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me, Yeendy. Good to be back.
Yeah, one of the key things we pumped up last week, mate, was the Bombers can make finals. Well, I think they well and truly can now after what happened on the weekend.
Absolutely, maybe a couple of results to fall their way, which they probably will, but look, they needed to make up percentage and they've done it in one game. We thought they might have needed 2 games to do it, but they won't need quite as big a win this week to get the job done.
Well, we spoke about it off air, so to speak, last week, and we said there probably needs to be about a 300-point swing between them and Lexington over the following 2 weeks. Well, we pretty much saw that in the space of one. And unfortunately, it's at the hands of the poor side from Denali. Maldon flexed their muscles and had an amazing win.
Yeah, they got it done. I think it was almost 40%, I think, before the weekend, and now it's only 1% difference between Maldon and Lexington, who they're chasing. So, look, it's still Lexington's got a chance. I think they can potentially win this week, and they've locked their spot in. But yeah, Maldon have got an eye for that top 8 spot now.
They certainly do, and of course, all the big talking point. While people are talking up the Bombers' big win with 47 goals, it was 20 goals to one of their stars, who traditionally plays in the midfield, but slotted down at full forward. The great, was it Hayden Kelly?
Yeah, it's a fantastic individual effort. Obviously, there's still obviously another 27 goals, which went to other players as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He got his fair share, that's for sure.
Yeah, magnificent effort. I think he kicked 7 goals in the first quarter, but I think it was Brenton Cox or one of the Cox boys over in the twos that actually kicked 19. So I don't know whether there's a little bit of combativeness there to try and beat him.
Jamie Cox it is, and
Jamie, there you go.
Yeah, he's one to remind me about how many goals he needs to kick before he gets to 100, and I think he's well and truly on his way. If he doesn't get it this week, they'll probably get it the week after.
So fantastic! It's all smiles. Things happen in threes. We get 1 bag, we get 2 bags, and now Maldon are well and truly. You called it actually probably sort of 6 weeks ago, a change in coach. It's really starting to. The fortunes are starting to change well for the Bombers, which is exciting. We want to see this sort of revival.
Yeah, a lot of extra motivation now, I think, for a few of those players, those top-end players for Maldon that have come into the side, might have been playing reserves games earlier in the year. So, yeah, they've turned their season right around, and they might even have an impact come finals. Absolutely,
if they make it. But there is one team that caused arguably one of the biggest wins of the season, and that was Avoca when they took down Harcourt by 1 point.
Yeah, unreal. It's probably not one. I definitely didn't see this one coming, but we didn't say to count Avoca out of this one, and that was probably for a reason. So, assuming Lexington folded Nutty, and all Avoca have to do this week is beat Trentham and they'll be in. So, it's all very exciting.
Yeah, it's certainly shaped out to be very exciting. One of the great, and we knew that from Avoca. We said that they were more than capable of having a big win like this, and they have done it. And against a team like Harcourt, who is destined to be very successful this year.
Yeah, that's right. Harcourt's a lock-in for the top 4, but yeah, look, as I said, Avoca, it's all in their hands now, so they've just got to beat Trentham this week and they'll be in. So.
They've got the scalp. They need 1 more to seal the deal. Carisbrook comfortably counted for Lexington, probably as expected, but we can expect that when Carisbrook takes on any team at the moment.
Yeah, big win for Carisbrook. Lexington, they'll be hoping, or they'll be wishing that they could have limited the damage a little bit more in this one, just to save that percentage a little bit. They've got another tough game against Natty next week, but they're fighting for their season, and it could be all the motivation they need after watching Avoca on the weekend. So, you know, Lexington aren't out of it. We keep saying that Maldon might steal their spot, but if they beat Natty this week, then they'll be fine.
Absolutely, mate. We're certainly seeing things really take shape. We saw things take shape down at the bottom end of the ladder where Newstead, they had to work really hard to dispatch of Campbell's Creek.
Yeah, Campbell's Creek, they couldn't quite pull off an upset, but they were definitely competitive. I think it's probably the most competitive they've been in a game, aside from the Denali game.
Yep.
And it probably took a half, I think, for Campbell's Creek to really get going, and the margin at half-time was virtually the margin at the end of the game. So if they played like they did in the second half of the whole game, it could have been a different story.
Exactly. Well, it's very hard to win a game of footy when you are goalless at half-time, particularly in a game like that where it could very much go either way. Navarre really flexed his muscles and just getting some confidence into their lineup with a strong win over Maryborough Rovers, who really have dropped away in the second half of the year.
Yeah, they have. Rovers will be disappointed with how their season's panned out, but Navarre, they built on a 5-goal margin that they had in the last time they played, so now to an 8-goal margin, which is good for them. A good bounce back for them as well after losing last week to Maldon, I think it was. So yeah, they'll be happy, and they're building nicely towards the business end of the season.
And I think the Grasshoppers were very, very happy considering they failed to kick a goal in the first term and had to come from 28 points behind at quarter time to basically get the game back on their terms. 7 goals in the second, 7 goals in the final term. A nice day at the office.
Yeah, that's right. And look, for Rovers, they're still technically not out of it. They can, if they get a big win this week, they might still be getting in there. But unfortunately, I just don't quite see it happening this week.
Results have got to go their way for sure. Talbot had to dig deep to beat Royal Park, which they did by 3 goals. Poor kicking's bad, poor football, but it didn't deter them from walking away with the points on the day.
Yeah, that's right. It's still a solid win for them, and it probably could have been greater with double the number of scoring shots, over double the number of scoring shots. So, lucky for Royal Park, they look pretty safe. They've got a big win expected this week against Janoli, so I think they're spotting the 8s safe. And Talbot, obviously, they're a solid top 4 side, and they'll be locking in that top 3 spot now, I think.
And Sunday afternoon football with the famous Gazman in action, of course. Very good hard work behind the scenes at AFL Goldfields. He was one of the elite officials there as the Swans accounted for the Saints by 7 goals in a highly entertaining contest. Whitehouse kicked a lazy 8 there for the Saints, and the Swans just had their usual contributors, 3, 4, 5 players kicking multiple goals.
Yeah, strong, convincing win there for Nutty, who obviously had to travel across and do it on Trentham's home deck. So, got to remember though that Nutty, they've only dropped 1 game this year, so obviously they're a very strong side, and they could very well take it out this year if they can somehow beat Carisbrook, which they've done.
Yep.
But whether they can do it again, and I'm certainly not counting them out.
Oh, absolutely, mate. They are flying. They are a team to watch. It's certainly an exciting couple of weeks coming up. Thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. Thanks to you, Mitchy, for jumping on board, mate. And we look forward to building up the final round of the home and away season later on in the week.
Thanks, Yeendy.